I got that sunshine in my pocket, got that good soul in my feet. I feel that hot blood in my body when it drops. Ooh, I can't take my eyes off of it, moving so phenomenally. The room unlocked the way we rock it, so don't stop.
Okay, for this recipe, you're gonna need some sour cream, some taco seasoning of your choice. I'm using Ortega. Some salsa of your choice. I'm using some mal picante sauce and cheese, some tortillas. I actually bought 2 packs of these. Of course, you're gonna need ground beef, a little bit of flour, and water. So let's get started. First thing you want to do is cook your ground beef in the skillet. Make sure it's completely brown and fully cooked. I seasoned mine with some lemon pepper, and now I just have it in a strainer in the sink, draining all the excess grease off of it. And Kennedy's over there trying to get my attention, talking to me. Next thing you want to do is season your ground beef with the taco seasoning according to the directions on your taco package. So I put some taco seasoning and some water, not a lot of water, but you need to follow the directions on your taco package for this part. And I added a little more taco seasoning because I wanted it to be more flavorful. So make sure you taste the taco meat to make sure it's to your liking before you go to the next step, because this is the most important step right here. You want it to be just as flavorful as you prefer. You don't want it to be like over seasoned or not enough seasoned. You want it to be just right before you go to the next step. So make sure you taste some of the meat to see if it's to your liking. Now I did salsa, sour cream, and cheese in a bowl with the ground beef, and I mixed it all together. There's no measurements for this. It's kind of based on your preference of how much you like, but do not make it extra runny because you do want the mixture to be thick and kind of stick together. You want it to be a thick consistency so that it doesn't come out of your shells. But I did add the salsa, sour cream, and the cheese into this mixture, and I'm mixing it well. Now you're gonna put a pot on the skillet with medium heat and some oil, and kind of let the oil heat up. And while we're doing that, we're gonna make the taco shells. So make sure your mixture is thoroughly stirred and mixed. And in this other bowl over here, I have some flour and water to make a thick paste. And this is going to be the paste that holds the taco shells together. And don't worry about it. When you cook it, you won't be able to taste this. Now, onto the tortilla shells. I have a tortilla shell that I cut down the middle to make 2 separate parts. These are going to be 2 separate taco shells. So, you're going to get some of the flour paste and put it along the edges of the taco shell. And then you're going to fold the tortilla up like so in a triangle shape. And then you're going to kind of roll it over to the edge and press as you go to seal the tortilla together. And if you need to, use more of the flour paste to kind of hold the sides together. And your end result should be this cone-shaped shell. Now you're going to get some of your taco mixture and put it inside of the shell. I only used 1.5 spoonfuls of the mixture. because you do not want to fill it all the way up. You only want to fill it halfway with the meat filling. And then you're going to take some of the flour and put it around the top edges and seal the top together. Sorry about the bad camera angle. I was trying to use both hands to do this and film. And after you seal it together, it should look like this. So I'm just going to show you again how I did that. I put some flour along the middle edge of the tortilla. I folded the tortilla up into a triangular shape. I kind of rolled it over to the edge and pressed and sealed to make sure it stays firm and together. And I'm just checking to make sure that it won't come apart. And don't worry if you mess up. This is a trial and error type of recipe. The first couple of times your cones probably won't look as good as you would like them to be. They might look disfigured, and that's okay. It takes a minute to get it, but once you get it, you'll definitely love this recipe. Now I'm spooning in some of the taco filling. And remember, you do not want to put the filling all the way to the top. You only want to put it halfway in the shell because you want to be able to close the shell up at the top. Now put some of the flour along the top edges and you press the edges together to seal it. And that's all you do. It's repeat that process until you use all of your mixture. Now I'm just prepping some shells ahead of time. I already cut them in half. And I'm just gonna repeat the same process over until I've used all of my taco mixture. And while I'm doing this, I'm letting the oil in the pot heat up so I can fry them. And this is actually I want to say my 4th or 5th time making this recipe. I've made it before. My family really loved it, and I just love putting a spin on old recipes, so this is a hit with my entire family. So this is some of the taco shells that I've already made that are ready to go into the grease. And I'm just going to take them one by one and drop them into the oil. And you don't want to put all of them in the oil at once. You don't want to overcrowd the pot because you want your shells to cook evenly. So at the most, put 5 shells in at once if you're using a big pot like this one. If you're using a smaller pot, only put 3 shells in at a time. And I didn't really time how long these were in the pot. I was close by making the other shells. I was standing right beside the stove. But it doesn't take long for these shells to brown, so just watch them. Like, stay close by and they'll be done within minutes. And this is what they look like when they're golden brown. And now I'm just going to check them and flip them around and make sure they're brown on both sides. and they're ready to be taken out. And the reason you're putting these shells into the grease is to kind of just cook them and brown the shells, because the taco mixture is already cooked. The filling is already done. You're just cooking the outside. And I'm using a paper towel inside this bowl to kind of get excess grease off of the shells. And now I'm just going to drop some more shells in. And that's it. This is the end result. I added sour cream, cheese, and salsa for the condiments and some corn. Thank you guys for watching.
Nothing I can see but you when you dance, dance, dance. Feel good.